everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm Alysia Feby Amanta from Zhong Verda Motors. We are a Chinese EV company working to make clean energy more accessible and sustainable across Asia. We are here today because we believe Indonesia, especially Morowali, plays a critical role in the global EV supply chain. But for us, this isn't just about securing materials, it's also about how we do it responsibly and respectfully. That's why we always stick to 1K principle, global reach, local respect. We want to grow globally, yes, but with full respect for local people, ecosystem, and national policy.
Oh, okay. Hello everyone, I am Sandra Kosasi. I'm one of the representative from Indonesia state-owned company. I'm very honored to be a part of this amazing negotiation. And in this case and this time, I want to emphasize our aim as state-owned company. We are emphasizing and want to make sure that by agreeing Zhong Verda Motors, by entering or mining, we can also feel the impact not only economically but also in our infrastructure, which to be specific in Morowali.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Sabrina speaking on behalf of Greenpeace Indonesia to protect ecosystem and ensure ethical practices in resource extraction. We understand the need for critical minerals, but we're here to advocate for strong environmental safeguards. So this transition doesn't come at the cost of biodiversity or local communities. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Raisa Devina Natania as the representative of Minister of Mining. I'm here to ensure the maximum potential benefit for the nation. As the Minister of Mining, it is important for me to collect investment assets enhancing nation's profit while paying attention to social welfare as well.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity for me to speak in this important meeting. I am Safana Kaila, here representing the Ministry of Trade from a consumer country highly dependent on stable and sustainable mineral supply chains for our electronic vehicle industry. So as we accelerate our transition to green economy, the demand for critical minerals like nickel becomes more urgent. But urgency must not come at the expense of good governance. So our concern isn't just about access, but it's also about how access is achieved. So we believe that the only way to ensure a secure and future-proof supply chain is through transparent trade, ethical sourcing, and compliance with host country policies. So we welcome efforts like this joint initiatives between Indonesia and China, but we will be observing its alignment with international standards, environmental accountability, and long-term partnership building. So we really look forward to learning more today and working together towards a responsible green transition.
Okay, thanks for giving me the chance to share our vision. So here's what we are proposing, a nickel refining facility in Morowali. Zhong Verda is ready to bring investment, clean tech, and long-term EV demand while building strong partnership with Indonesian stakeholders. This isn't just a business pitch. We have seen how projects like this can go wrong in some countries when local needs aren't considered. That's why we want to be a showcase for ethical sourcing responsible industry. We are committed to making this work together.
All right. So after hearing your proposed and aim, we're also very curious. We want to know more about what can your company offer us, and also what kind of value your company has.
Okay, thanks for raising that. I think it's very important point. For Indonesia, we don't just offer capital, we offer long-term value, local jobs, technology transfer, and community investment. We're also open to creating a development fund where part of the project revenue can support things like health, education, and environmental projects based on local needs. That's how we define partnership.
Okay, I see. I think everything will be very amazing if there's someone who are willing to make an opinion or question.
Greenpeace Indonesia would like to offer its views regarding this issue. But first of all, thank you for the proposal and for showing a commitment to ethical sourcing. We fully support the transition to renewable energy. However, nickel mining in sensitive areas like Morowali raises serious environmental concerns. If poorly managed, it can cause erosion, water pollution, and even worse, damage ecosystem, but putting both nature and nearby communities at risk. So while your vision is promising, it must come with real safeguards. If we want this to be a true model of ethical sourcing, the environmental justice must be a starting point, not an afterthought.
I really appreciate the concern brought up by the NGO sides, and honestly, we agree on a lot of it. We have all seen how some mining projects in the past have led to environmental harm or unfair labor projects. That's why we are proposing a joint monitoring team, one that includes civil society, local communities, and independent experts.
Thank you, Ms. Sabrina, for your thoughtful response and for raising valid concerns regarding the potential impacts of nickel mining, such as erosion, water pollution, and ecosystem degradation. On the other hand, I believe that Zhong Verda could be a promising business partner for us. In the proposal submitted, Zhong Verda has expressed a clear commitment to ethical resource extraction and responsible industry practices. This commitment may serve as a positive consideration for future investment that benefit the country.
Yeah, I do very agree with Greenpeace and also Miss Raisa's statement, because I think this whole investment would bring us to such a beneficial, and by putting a lot of attention not only in the mining sectors but also the climate and the other stuff, it would be very great. But I don't want to hurt only from it, and I do think from the Ministry of Trade will be very great if you give us some opinion towards it.
Alright, so from the Ministry of Trade, I must say strong regulation is a foundation for stability. And so, however, for a country like ours who rely on supply continuity to meet our domestic green targets, we need clarity on one key question. If Indonesia introduces new policy frameworks, particularly involving environmental safeguards, trade restrictions, or local pricing requirements, will China fully follow those rules without delay? So our domestic industries are planning for the long term. They're not just buying minerals for this year, they're building future supply chains, infrastructure, and contracts. So if there is any confusion or delay in following Indonesia's policy, it could cause serious problems both for business and diplomacy. And so maybe let me also give an example from our side. So our Ministry of Trade is now developing a new proposal called the Green Minerals Partnership Clause. It would require proof that minerals are sourced responsibly through independent checks, and then ask for basic international environment standards to be followed, and any give preferences for the country that ensure local communities benefit from the project. So this kind of policy isn't meant to make trade harder, but it is meant to make partnerships stronger, more fair, and more predictable. So maybe once again, we ask, is China ready to meet these standards, not just in words, but in action?
Thanks, Minister. I understand your point and I agree. Clear rules are really important so we can all work with confidence. Our answer is simple. Yes, Zhong Verda will follow all of Indonesia rules clearly, fully, and on time. About the Green Minerals Partnership Clause, we support it. We're okay with checks on where the minerals come from, following environmental standards, and making sure local people benefit. We think that's fair. We're not here just short-term business. We want to a long-term strong partnership with Indonesia. So if there are new policy, we are ready to follow them and work together.
I think I'll jump in here, and I must say we at Greenpeace Indonesia would strongly agree with the direction outlined by the Trade Minister, Ms. Kaila. But from the environmental side, we'd love to see this policy include some concrete safeguards, such as a mandatory environmental impact assessment that are independently reviewed and real-time public monitoring system for emissions, waste, and water use. If China or any international investor is truly committed to doing this responsibly, these shouldn't be obstacles. It's a change to show leadership in ethical sourcing.
Thank you for your input, Ms. Sabrina, and I deeply appreciate Greenpeace Indonesia's strong support for the direction set by our Trade Minister. As a Minister of Mining, I fully agree that responsible trade must go beyond legal frameworks. It must be rooted in respect for the environment, local communities, and long-term sustainability. That's why I strongly support the inclusion of concrete safeguards such as mandatory environmental impact assessment that are independently reviewed and real-time public monitoring or emission, waste, and water usage. Our ministry believes that by adopting these measures, we are not only protecting our natural ecosystem, but also setting a clear standard for ethical mining practices. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for this very constructive discussion. We have listened carefully and what we're hearing is clear. We all want this green transition to succeed, but it has to be fair, sustainable, and inclusive. Zhong Verda Motors is fully committed to that vision. Let's turn this dialogue into real action and build something we can all be proud of, not just for now, but for the next generation. Thanks again, and we look forward to working closely with all of you.